Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, today I am going to show you this Microsoft Office alternative called LibreOffice, and it really is great. It is completely free, it is open source, and so you get to the point to where you need a document like a word processor, or you want to do like a spreadsheet of some sorts, and you just don't want to spend the money on Microsoft Office, because it can be pretty spendy. So check out this LibreOffice. There are two versions to download here. This is the newest version. They got a little bit of an older version where they say that it just has been tested a lot longer and stuff like that. I've not had problems with this newer version though. So that's up to you which one you want to download. Now, if you want to look down here, scroll down a little, you can actually, like I mentioned, it is open source. So they actually allow you to download the actual source code, the SDA and source code here. And then, of course, it will show you what operating systems that this is compatible with, which is quite a bit, and which available versions there are. So anyway, guys, once you get downloaded, whatever version you want here, I'm going to minimize. Once you get that downloaded and installed, it's going to give you an icon here. So let's just click that. And it is a little bit different than your locally installed Microsoft Office because those will just have an icon for each program that you want to use, like Office and Excel, etc., etc. But this has just a nice little GUI to where you can just access it all right here. Not really sure why my GeForce experience is popping up. I'm not playing a game, but it obviously sees this as such. So anyway, guys, so continuing on here. So let's say you wanted to create a word processor document. You got a letter to type, you got a business letter to type off to a company, whatever the case may be. You go right here to writer document, and writer document is pretty comparative to Microsoft Word in Microsoft Office, and again, it's completely free and open source. So let's just type a test document here. So as you can see, it has a lot of good features here. Like you can take your text, you can bold it, you can italicize it, underline it. Oh, there you go. You can do all sorts of things with it there. You got all your different fonts, different sizes. It works pretty well here. Different colors for things here. Say we want to change that to that color. So it actually works pretty well, and it's actually pretty nicely laid out. So it's really not hard to figure out, especially if you've worked with a word processor before. Now you can actually, like, just say you're done with your document and you want to save it. So if we go do a save as here, and I want to put it right on my desktop, if you look at the save as type, there are so many extensions you can save it as. I would go down here, say, because most people read doc files, so Microsoft Word. So you can go down here and just do doc files from like 2010 to 365. That's probably what you would want. Either one of these. Well, not a template, a document. Or you can do Word 2007 if somebody has Word 2007 and they need that. But there's other options too. Text, HTML, etc., etc. So let's go ahead and save it to the desktop as a Word document, and I'm just gonna name this test. Okay, and then you might get this here. It just talks about different formatting and stuff. I have Microsoft Word installed, so it's probably going to pick up on that as well. The original default file format for LibreOffice is ODF. So you don't necessarily have to save it as that. So, but this is just a thing saying, hey, we noticed you saved it to a doc file. Are you sure, etc., etc.? And we just go, yeah, we're sure. That's what we want to save it as. All right, so that is saved. And as you see here, like I said, I have Microsoft Word installed, and that is my default word processor. So it's going to see it as a Word file. It's probably going to open it in that too, if I were to open it, but I'm not going to. But that's just a test to show you that you can save it in those formats. Now, when you're done here, you see this little X up here. You just close that out, and it will keep this here until you tell it not to. And then you can just go on to something else. Now, let's move down to Calc Spreadsheet. Now, this is LibreOffice is equivalent to like Microsoft Excel. You know, you do not PowerPoints. You just do Excel spreadsheets in here. And it works the same. I'm not a big Excel guy, so I'm not really sure exactly show you how to show you stuff in here. But same concept, you know, you different fonts and the different options and stuff like that, and the same save as, and you would have to or want to save it as an XLS file or an Excel file when it comes down to that. And see, they have those in here. Office Open XML spreadsheet, or all of these here is what I would go with. But you can also do CSVs if you're familiar with those. And again, ODF spreadsheet is the file format that's default to LibreOffice. All right, guys, let's move on here. Close that out. Next is the Impress presentation. Now, as you can see, it comes right up with templates and stuff like that. And this is LibreOffice's version of, let's just say, Microsoft PowerPoint. You see a lot of PowerPoints in business settings these days, and you can create these. You don't want to, let's just say we don't want to use a template. We just want to create our own. If you guys have used PowerPoint before, Microsoft PowerPoint, you see that this looks pretty similar with a lot of the same tools, and it saves exactly the same. And you'll have to go to there. And if you want to save it as a PowerPoint so it can be read by Microsoft Office, that's fine. But again, if you are only going to be using LibreOffice for you and some friends that have Libre, saving in the ODF is just fine. Not a problem at all. All right, let's close that out. And next over here, we have this draw drawing. Now, draw drawing, I don't recall anything like this in Microsoft Office. With draw drawing, you can do anything from like a really quick sketch to a complex plan. It basically just gives you the ability to communicate with graphics and diagrams and stuff like that. I've never used this. I can't show you how to use it, but it is an option in LibreOffice. So if you're into that kind of thing, and this is familiar to you, this is a great way to do that. Now, let's move on to this math formula. Again, math formula, there's really nothing equivalent to this in Microsoft Office. And yes, I am comparing everything to Microsoft Office just because that's the one that I'm used to using. And that's the one that a lot of people try to get away from by spending the money, or try to get away from spending the money on that. So there is nothing equivalent in Office that I know of that is like this math formula. But basically, this is it's a formula editor included with this suite that basically allows you to create or edit formulas in a symbolic form. So again, this really not something I can show you how to use, but if you're familiar with this, this will probably be pretty handy. All right, let's move on. After math formula, we have base database. Now, those of you that are familiar with Microsoft Office, you may say, hey, this looks just like Microsoft Access. And that is what it is for. It is for creating databases. So you can go to create a new, you can open existing. And a thing about all these programs, guys, let me take you back. With Writer document, if you have Microsoft Word documents and you got rid of that, but you still have those documents, you can absolutely open those documents with LibreOffice, even if they are the .doc extension. Same goes for the calc spreadsheet. If you have Excel files, it will open in this. So you don't have to worry about the compatibility issues there. It's completely compatible with the file extensions from Microsoft Office. Okay, let's get back to the database wizard here. But yeah, if you guys are familiar with Access, creating little databases for whatever, this is going to work in the same way. Create new, go to next, answer all these questions, and then you will be good to go here. So, but anyway, the only other thing I can think of, guys, with Microsoft Office versus LibreOffice, LibreOffice does not have, if you have the Pro version of Microsoft Office, you get Microsoft Outlook, which is an email client. LibreOffice does not have anything like that. For something like that, I would suggest checking out Mozilla Thunderbird. It is a great email client. And it definitely is, of course, separate from this, but it is a nice email client to look at. Anyway, guys, that is it about LibreOffice, a great Microsoft Office alternative. If you guys think this helped you out, go ahead and click that like down there, and why not subscribe so you can be tuned into future content. Thanks, guys.